Does it not indict your principal and perhaps yourself that twice have you presented the name of Mr. Ibrahim Magu, twice as the DSS, an institution that reports to the presidency, indicted the candidate that you have presented, and the presidency haven't cleared Mr. Ibrahim Magu based on the committee set up by him? What does that speak about the presidency, your principal, and your office?
I want to say that the job of the Mr. President is to present nomination to the legislature, the Senate, in this instance. And it is for the Senate, looking at using its own parameters, to take a decision one way or the other. And it does not at all indict the presidency, because when the first nomination was submitted, there were issues raised. Remember, Mr. Ibrahim Magu was not screened in plenary, and he was simply referred back, and decision taken and communicated to His Excellency Mr. President. And after that, Mr. President did an in-house exercise, which were in-house exercise, and found it appropriate to represent Mr. Magu, and he was again represented, and the Senate has spoken, and it is now for the provisions. It is now over again to Mr. President.
And with your experience now, one we wonder, as it stands, who is the EFCC chairman, or who is the EFCC boss?
Yeah, Mr. Akimbaloye, Mr. President sent the name, a nominee, to the Senate, and the Senate has spoken on the nominee, and that being done, for now, I will not go far, because that is within the breast of Mr. President. Who has the duty of appointing.
Are you concerned, Mr. Senator Enang, that what the presidency, the Buhari government says they want to do majorly is to fight corruption, and this is an agency of government that wants that is at this spine of this very duty? What do you make of this, and where do you think the nation is going forward from here?
For me, this shows the independence of each of the arms of government, one, and the independence of each of the agencies of government, two, and the fact that each of the agencies of government established by law will not be influenced by by any person in the performance of the functions of their office. Now, the DSS has its own functions, and it has performed it. The EFCC has its own functions. The executive, Mr. President, has his own functions. He has performed it. And the Senate, established by the Constitution, has its own functions. It has performed it. Now, that done, and with the decision of the Senate, everybody goes back to the laws, and each person will have to do what the laws establishing it and allowing it will or orders to be done.
Does it not look like there is a clear clash between the National Assembly and the executive, considering the fact that 2 days or a day before the consideration of Mr. Magu, the Senate President and the Speaker met with the President? One we wonder, what were they talking about? Didn't they talk about this incident, and didn't they foresee that this was going to happen? This is an interest from the presidency.
The Senate President presides over the Senate. The decision is that of the senators in plenary. That's number one. Number two, the Senate President is the number 3 citizen and head of the legislature, and this within his obligations under the Constitution to continually consult with Mr. President, and that was in company of Mr. Speaker. And I don't think that it is a matter which the Constitution says that the name of any nominee should be presented to the Senate. And when it is presented, it shall be screened and cleared as found or thought fit. Therefore, if in a matter like this, we run into an accident, I will call it an incident, I wouldn't want to call it an accident, we will not vilify the Senate because it was not, we will not vilify the Senate, we will not say hard words against it because they are within their powers.
Okay. Before we close on the program, there is a big question. Where is the 2017 budget? Just in a few seconds, Senator Enang, can you tell us where we are on the 2017 budget?
The 2017 budget is at the concluding stage with the Senate and the House of Representatives. The committees were submitting their report to the Committee on Appropriation of both the House and the Senate. And the House and the Senate committees on appropriation are working in tandem and in harmonizing it, doing everything to keep it within the limit. And they are at a stage of making sure the figures are tidied and that the figures and the project and the balances are all in sync with each other. And we're doing this, they're doing this in consultation with the Minister and Ministry of Budget and National Planning, the Minister of State, the Director General Budget Office of the Federation, my office, and that of my colleague, myself, Enang, and that of Honorable Kau, the Senior Special Assistant to the President of National Assembly Affairs.
All right. Thank you so much, Senator Enang, for your thoughts there. That's our show for tonight. Many thanks for being part of it. On behalf of the team, I'm Sean Okinale. Bye for now.